there is a new free open source AI agent called Hermes that can find and qualify unlimited leads for you completely on its own. And the best part is that it gets better and better with every single time that you get to use it. So instead of paying for a tool like Clay and researching every single lead yourself by having to come up with super complicated prompts, Hermes does literally all of it for you. I've been stress testing the Hermes agent over the last 3 months, and after doing cold email lead generation for over 5 years across over 100 different companies, I can tell you that this is probably the most hands-off way I've ever seen to get interested prospects and book more sales qualified meetings. So in today's video, I'll show you how to set up the Hermes agent so you can basically have a full-time lead generation employee that brings you fresh, qualified leads whenever you need them. So before Hermes can go and find those leads for you, you of course need to get it set up in the first place. And the whole thing can take just a couple of minutes. As I mentioned, Hermes is a free open source AI agent that you can run on your own computer or alternatively in the cloud, meaning that it is somewhere in a virtual private server and it runs automatically 24/7 without the need of your computer being switched on 24/7 otherwise. So the first thing you need to do is just make a conscious decision. Do you want to host it on your computer? In which case it's just accessible when your computer is switched on, and it's only accessible to you since you're probably the only user of your computer. Alternatively, you can host it in the cloud in a virtual private server like Hostinger, for example, and for that, your employees and your colleagues can have access to that agent as well. In order to install the Hermes agent, it's actually pretty straightforward. All you need to do is head over to the Hermes agent GitHub repository. I know GitHub repository may put you off a bit, and you may be thinking, ooh, isn't this a bit technical? Do I not need to be techy and nerdy to understand this? But spoiler alert, no you don't. All you basically need is go and check out the second link underneath the video. We will make sure to give you a link to this GitHub repository so you don't need to basically just type out this URL that you can see on my screen right now. And after that, all it takes is for you to just copy the URL of the GitHub repository, go into your LLM of choice, be it ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, whatever you use right now. And all you basically need to do is just say, give me the installation command for this Hermes agent, then give it the URL of the GitHub repository. And then after that, of course, we're going to send the message. After that, your AI tool should give you a command. So all you would need to do for that is just go and copy this command and type in terminal on your computer. And then if you open your terminal, this is basically the backend system on your computer. And after you paste this command, just click on enter, and this will automatically start the installation process of Hermes agent. So you can see in this case, it says Hermes agent installer, and you can see that it's basically just being installed in real time on the basis of that command. But essentially, all you need to know is there are 3 main things that you need to interconnect in order for Hermes agent to actually work for your business. The first thing is connecting the Hermes agent to your computer, which we have already done. Secondly, it's then embedding it in a communication channel. So in my case, for example, I have embedded an AI agent within my Slack workspace. And essentially what this means is that my entire team can interact with this AI agent called Izzy. And if I look at some of the previous tasks over here, for example, I can tell it, hey, go and pull up my 3 most recent deals from my pipeline in my CRM, and it will go and do that. Alternatively, we can say, hey, go and draft a campaign inside of Smartlead, for instance, and it will go and draft that campaign for you. So you can really treat it the same way as you would treat an employee, and all it boils down to is just making sure that you install the GitHub repository, which you have done using the command. You can then embed it into a communication channel like Slack, and then on top of that, you would need to give it access to some sort of large language model. So in my case, I use Anthropic, and on the basis of that, we can then interact with it in real time, and it can perform certain tasks with us, assuming that it has the right connections with the right tools. Now, once Hermes is running, the next thing that you need to do is connect it to the tool where you send your cold emails from. For me personally, that's Smartlead. And I do have to be real with you, until you embed Hermes agent within your communication channel, like I have done with Slack, before that, you will likely need to hang out with the terminal a lot. So all it will take for you is to go to your large language model of choice again, copy the GitHub repository URL, and literally say, I want my Hermes agent to have access to Smartlead MCP. Here is Smartlead MCP guide. And for this, we'll basically link this guide, which talks about how to connect Smartlead, which is my email automation platform of choice. And this will automatically connect to Hermes agent, meaning that Hermes agent is able to send emails on my behalf, build lead lists, verify email addresses, connect the right email inboxes to my campaigns, and basically notify me of any positive replies. So for the purpose of this, it's pretty straightforward. As long as I paste the link to the Smartlead MCP guide, which again, that will be the third link in the description underneath the video, and as long as I copy and paste the GitHub repository again, then I can say, give me a command to paste into my terminal to establish a connection between Hermes and Smartlead. And then on the basis of that, you will see that it's going to be procrastinating and contemplating, but after a couple of minutes, it should give you the exact commands that you can paste into your terminal so you are able to establish a two-way sync between these two tools. So you can see in this case over here, Claude came back to me with a command. All I need to do again is just click on the clipboard copy button over here and just paste it into the terminal. And the only thing that I would need to do is just where it says your API key over here, I would need to replace it with my Smartlead API key. And by the way, if you're new to Code Outreach and if you're yet to get an account with a tool like Smartlead, all you basically need to do is go and check out the first link in the description. So the top link in the description down below will make sure to give you an extended free trial of Smartlead. And as soon as you click on start free trial, you should have an API key inside of your account. All you would need to do is just navigate to the top right hand corner, click on settings, and then if you head over into your API key management settings on the left hand side of the panel, you can then create a new admin key. Just give it a quick name, click on create, and then just copy this key from the clipboard view over here again, and just basically replace your where it says your API key here with your API key. And at that point, we should have already established a connection between Smartlead and Hermes agent. Whilst this was loading, you can see over here, Izzy, which is my AI agent that I trust with most of my outbound stuff. Over here, Izzy replied saying, hey Tim, what's up? I said, I will tell you to draft a campaign in Smartlead for me. Can you do that? I was basically just asking Izzy, which is my Hermes agent, whether her connection to Smartlead was working fine. And she said, absolutely, tell me what you need and I'll set it up. When you're ready, share things like campaign name, email sequence, and so on. And as soon as this is connected, all we would need to do is just think about how we need to prompt the Hermes agent to perform various tasks within Smartlead for us. So the first thing that I like to explain is that we need to first imagine what we would do if we were to do this on a manual level, right? And typically, if you are inside of Smartlead, you probably would abuse their Smart Prospect feature, which is basically the feature that gives you access to a database of over 270 million different leads. And in this case, you can see all the different filtering criteria, very similar to that of LinkedIn Sales Navigator or Apollo.io. Okay, guys, and now that we know that we want Hermes agent to go and do all of the filtering for us within Smart Prospect and to then create a campaign using some of the ICP leads from here before sending out cold emails at scale, all we need to do is just head over into our Hermes agent. In my case, I'm super blessed to have it embedded within Slack. So as you can see over here, I already just told it just now, hey, please don't reveal API keys or anything sensitive in this chat because I want to demonstrate this to someone who's basically just watching my screen. And in this case, it can do the following things for us. So you can build a lead list using Smart Prospect, and you can create the campaign, you can configure the settings, then launch it. And all it requires is 5 to 6 different tools within the Smartlead MCP. And by the way, you can also get hold of that if you're inside of Claude. I know that's a separate topic altogether, but if you're inside of your Claude account, if you go and click on your name in the bottom left-hand corner, if you go into settings, if you then scroll down to connectors, you should be able to see over here, you're able to then click on add custom connector, and then just paste your remote MCP server URL. However, the most important thing when it comes to actually prompting the Smartlead MCP to do anything, especially when it comes to filtering using Smart Prospect, you need to explain everything in a step-by-step format. So you can say something like, step 1, use the Smartlead MCP to go and create a lead list with marketing managers at 50 to 200 employee firms in the US who have a verified email address, then put them in a new campaign, add every single mailbox from my Smartlead to that campaign, put it in draft mode, and give it to me for review with a link to the campaign here. And then on the back of that, as soon as we send this out, we should be able to see now that Izzy's thinking, and she's just basically trying to understand what we're trying to do with this specific set of MCP calls. You can see in this case, Hermes agent could take 2, 3, 4 minutes to do this, because if you think of you delegating this to an actual human, it would probably take them a couple of working days, right? So in contrast to this, you can see that it will take quite a while to go ahead and actually do all of this for you. You can see at the same time, Izzy is typing, so she's already thinking of a response. She's already trying to basically pull off all of this and give us a quick progress update. Okay, so in this case, we can see that it says done. Here is the dry run summary. The reason we're saying dry run is because I have a dry run setting, which is basically whenever we use this for demonstrational purposes, we call this a dry run. In this case over here, we can see that the campaign is called this. It's in draft mode, nothing has been sent. We have a review link to actually review the campaign. We can see the sending schedule. We can see the number of mailboxes attached, which is all 57 inboxes that we have, which is actually half of the inboxes, which is peculiar. Because I think based on the context that I fed to Izzy was not convinced that we should use all of our client inboxes to do this outreach as well, which is a pretty good call. And as you can see right now, I've just clicked on that link. We have the marketing manager's campaign in draft over here. There are some caveats. We have still not added the email copy for this campaign, and we are waiting for the emails to verify before the leads are going to be put into this campaign. However, the main point of me showing you this is just first of all to show you how fast Hermes Agent is when it's embedded within your own workspace, and then secondly to show you how you can literally just prompt your way through the lead list building process as well as the campaign creation process up until it's in draft mode, and then you can have a quick manual review before sending out any cold outreach. And then needless to say, on top of that, guys, you can also prompt Hermes Agent to go and do the lead scoring for you, to basically say, hey, score the leads against my ideal client profile. Here is my ideal client profile, and you can give it all the info about your signals, the kind of pain points that your product is solving, the persona that you're going after, the product that you're trying to sell, and on the basis of that, you will try and qualify the prospects for you. And then the prospects that, for example, only are a 6 out of 10 in terms of fit and below will be disqualified and removed from the campaign before you manually review it and launch it in your own time. Okay, so let's imagine that you managed to push your first campaign live. Here is the thing that makes Hermes a lot different from a normal AI agent, and why it's my favorite go-to agent right now when it comes to team-wide campaign building. Hermes remembers every single list that it has built for you and what you thought about each individual list, what kind of feedback you provided, how you prompted it, how you wanted to QA every single lead list on top of that. So it's not starting from zero every single time like OpenClaw or Claude Code or any other fancy AI agent of choice, and it's basically renowned for its self-improving functionality. So the way that it gets better is by you just grilling it and telling it, hey, this is a bad lead list, here is what I dislike, here is what I like about it, and over time it learns and gets better with every single new cold outreach campaign that you may send using a tool like Smartlead. So if you want Hermes finding and qualifying leads for you and dropping them straight into your own cold email campaigns, you can start using Smartlead completely for free by clicking the top link in the description underneath the video. Once you're inside of Smartlead, you get instant access to Smart Prospect, the built-in database with over 300 million verified leads that Hermes can use to your advantage. So you can literally connect Hermes and have qualified leads go straight into the campaigns on the same day. So again, you can start using Smartlead for free by clicking the first link in the description. And now that you have a way to bring in unlimited leads, the next step is turning them into booked meetings. So if you want to see the boring system I use to book meetings on autopilot, then check out the video popping up on your screen right now.